Say you're birding along a streamside path. You come upon a small bird that perches in the open, unlike so many others that seem bent on moving swiftly away and staying concealed. When it does fly, it makes only a short loop, then quickly returns to the same perch. Despite this obliging behavior, you have no idea what it is. Welcome to the flycatchers. The New World flycatchers, or tyrant flycatchers, make up the largest family of birds in the world, with approximately 425 known species. Fewer than 1/10 of that number regularly reach the United States, but that's still a sizable group. Unfortunately, all this diversity in speciation doesn't always translate to diversity in appearance. A large percentage of flycatchers follow a basic pattern of somber gray-green plumage, usually paler below, with occasional minor flourishes like wing bars or eye rings. There are spectacular exceptions, though, many of them just reaching the southern U.S. from adjacent Mexico and points south. The vermilion flycatcher gives even the tanagers real competition for intensity of color, though females and young males are a good deal more subdued. Not as colorful, but perhaps even more striking, is the scissor-tailed flycatcher, whose elegant black and white pattern is set off by wing linings that can be anywhere in shade from rose to peach. And it's not even our longest-tailed flycatcher. The somewhat smaller fork-tailed flycatcher, a rare vagrant to our area, bears an even longer train. While we're on the subject of spectacular southern flycatchers, mention should be made of two others: the brilliant rufous and yellow great kiskadee of South Texas, and the heavily streaked sulfur-bellied flycatcher of southeast Arizona. The kiskadee's name derives from its loud, emphatic call. The sulfur-bellied also has an unusual call, often likened to the squeaking of a pet toy. Most North American birders don't see flycatchers like these very often, but just about all of us have at least one phoebe and at least one kingbird that serve as friendly, familiar introductions to the flycatcher family. Phoebes vary markedly in color and geographic range, but all are compact, unmarked, and given to lowering, then raising their tails in a distinctive dipping motion. The western and eastern kingbirds might be thought of as the archetypal flycatchers. Fond of open habitats, they perch imperiously atop trees or on wires, where they snap up flying insects, even wasps and bees. They also aggressively pursue and harass any hawks or other birds unwise enough to violate their territories, behavior that has led to the tyrant designation attached to all our flycatchers. Both these common kingbird species have distinctive tail patterns. Western has white edges, while the eastern's tail tip is white. Not all kingbirds are quite so well marked, but attention to range and details of plumage, voice, and structure will generally reveal their identity. Some flycatcher identification problems are nearly impossible until you learn to deploy the flycatcher watcher's most trusted tools, range and voice. Eastern and western wood pewees, for example, are extremely similar in plumage, but their voices and ranges are quite different. Western is found primarily west of the Great Plains, while eastern, naturally, occurs to the east. Commonly heard vocalizations of eastern wood pewee include a sweet, plaintive pee-wee or peer. Western wood pewee gives a nasal pee or peer. In the same way, studying range and voice will help you separate the so-called crested flycatchers of the genus Myarchus without breaking a sweat, most of the time. Even the small wing-barred and eye-ringed Empidonax flycatchers can be conquered in this way. The Empidonax have a reputation for being unidentifiable for all but the most advanced birders, and while they can be quite tricky on migration when they are largely silent, on the breeding grounds they separate themselves to a great extent by habitat. As usual, voice is the clincher. Most North Americans have one or two local breeding species of Empidonax with which they can become familiar. From there, you will have a firm foothold to begin learning the others. Be patient. Expertise with birds like these comes only with a good deal of experience. Who knows? Over time, you may find yourself so hooked on flycatchers that you'll search out an obscurity like the northern beardless tarannulet, a diminutive bird whose outsized name commemorates its lack of a classic flycatcher feature, a beard of whisker-like feathers at the base of the bill that aid most of the family in doing what flycatchers do best, deftly seizing flying insects.